You're crazy.
Yeah, she just shoved her. Just shoved her. I knew Disney was gonna bitch out and not include that scene. I knew it. Going to my YouTuber subscribers, hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend, because Lilo & Stitch is now officially in theaters for the entire world to finally see and enjoy, maybe. I saw the movie last night and I gave my thoughts on it. You can check out my review for that. Today's video, more or less, is just pretty much like, I kind of didn't want to do this because I don't want to rant on my boy Stitch. I love Stitch. I love it. But as a movie, I'm just like, there's 5 things this movie could have did better that could have made it an overall better movie. Put it like that. Kids are going to be able to watch the movie pretty much just like, okay, Stitch is doing Stitch things. I love the colors and aliens and the shenanigans and the fart jokes. Yeah, from an adult's perspective and someone who's just like, who, you know, sees movies and stuff, I can be a little bit more critical and just be like, yeah, I love this movie. I love this franchise. And these are the reasons why I think that the remake falls a little bit short. I'm not going to waste no more of your time. Let's just get straight to it. Here are my 5 reasons of why I think that Lilo & Stitch 2025 anyway is definitely the inferior version. Here we go. Start with number 1, the runtime of the movie. It's, oh boy, strap in. Ever watch a movie and be like, okay, on paper it seems like it's this runtime, but when you watch the movie, it's like, it could be shorter, it could be longer. The original Lilo & Stitch runtime from 2002 is exactly 1 hour 25 minutes. Right in the pocket, Disney magic. We loved it. The remake is actually 1 hour and 48 minutes, and I promise you, it feels like 2 hours. Only because there's a lot of elements that are put into the movie that don't need to really be in the movie at all. But that's kind of like a Disney remake problem at all. They always add scenes that just don't need to be in it at all. And I know you're thinking like, well, if they just stick straight to the source material from A to B, then people will still complain about it. It's kind of a lose-lose situation. But again, there's a difference between a movie being 1 hour 48 minutes and a movie feeling like 1 hour it's in 59 minutes. I'm just saying there are a lot of elements in the movie that I'm just like, yeah, especially with the side characters that just did not need to be in the film. Like I said, there's something that animations have where they just like, okay, we got the animation right here, hour 25. That was like the key magic right there. I feel like there were no animated movies back in the day that struck over that 2 hour mark or was close to 2 hour. Never. Live action one is like, yeah, oh, that movie was 1 hour 25 minutes. Let's just tack on an extra 30 minutes just so we could pad out that runtime for no reason. That's reason 1. It gets worse. Here we go. Coming number 2, why this movie falls short is the characters in the movie. Let's talk about these characters. Let's talk about them. The good Lilo & Stitch, amazing. They were like the heart and soul of the whole movie, especially Lilo. The little girl actress, her first movie who played Lilo, she crushed it. She was great. I can't wait to see her in more movies. If they do sequel, of course they're gonna get sequels. You kidding me? And Stitch himself, like I said, Stitch looked like Stitch. They could have easily ugly Sonic Stitch, but they didn't. They know they knew the assignment. And Stitch looked like Stitch, feels like Stitch, act like Stitch. Stitch was Stitch. He was great. Right, now look at the rest of the characters, because them got some things to say. First of all, the side characters in the movie, the social worker and the neighbor. They were not in the original at all. Why are they in this one? Why? Actually, it's part of a bigger problem in this movie. This movie replaces characters from the original that didn't need to be in this movie. Here's a quick example. We got Jumbo Jukipa, who is the creator of Stitch. He's the one that's like, yes, in the original, yes, he was sent to Earth with Peely to go capture Stitch. But if I'm kind of off the top of my dome, I remember Gantu being like the big main antagonist who's like, yeah, if you don't get this job done, I'm gonna come to Earth and hunt Stitch down. Or was he already there? I can't remember. I just know that in that last half of the original movie, Gantu was on the scene and Gantu was messing Hawaii up. Gantu was the main antagonist in the last half. But now you have Jumba pretty much capturing Stitch, and Jumba is the one trying to take him back and do all this other stuff. Pretty much Jumba is doing Gantu's job, and he didn't have to. Why? Another example is that you got the social worker character who's, again, I know she's played by the voice of the Nani in the original. Okay, that's fine. But it's like her character could have been played by Cobra Bubbles, who that was his role in the original. And now in the remake, he's the CIA agent, yeah, but not really the social worker. Like, he can do both. And again, if I'm also, like, remember about the original, it's like the CIA and the aliens that kind of had this, like, Men in Black type of, relationship. So that worked too. That was not in the movie at all. I just feel like Jumba and Pleakley pretty much was like dime store Timon and Pumbaa in this movie. They're just like the side characters who are not funny in these situations just to pad out the runtime. In fact, when you watch the movie, you'll be like, you know what? Where's Stitch at? Where's Stitch? At least that's what the kids gonna be thinking anyway. Because again, like I said, I didn't mind them in the movie. It's just that the stuff they were doing in the movie could have been played and dedicated to a character who was supposed to be in the original, but wasn't. Now look at number 3 in the movie, which kind of goes in number 2, and that's moments taken out of the movie. That's a lot of moments. One key one that comes like right to mind. There's a moment, just like key part, or one of the key parts in the original. Have a moment where Lilo takes Stitch. He's on the record player, put his little fingertip on it, and opens up his mouth, and the music comes out. And that was a moment in the original, because that was like, oh yeah, shit. Nani was like, oh snap, something's really weird with that dog. Okay, but in the remake, pretty much just like, yeah, that scene happened because it had to happen because it's Lilo and Stitch. Nani just on her phone, she's pretty much just like, what? Avengers Doomsday got pushed back to next year of December. Yeah, she didn't care. It was just like moments like that. Small moments, small details like that. They add up. And it's like, no, that's... No. Also, my personal favorite, Myrtle versus Lilo. Didn't happen at all. We didn't even get the little, like, what Myrtle and her crew do. Like, yeah. That didn't happen in the movie at all. And I was, like, kind of listening for it, too. Because I'm now thinking, like, at some film. And I'm like, maybe they did say it and I missed it. Nope, they didn't say it at all. So, again, it's like, even though Myrtle was an important, like, ish character in the movie, she was still, like, Lilo's antagonist, to get her on the path of, like, yeah, my friends need to be punished. Well, that wasn't in the movie either. Yeah, much dialogue that they follow from the original. Again, it's like there's some things that just like you would consider dark humor in the original that's not in this movie at all, which goes to the number 5 reason. But let's get to number 4. Number 4 reason for this remake not being great at all either is also this just soullessness, the soullessness of the remake. Now I kind of had to deal with remakes as an entirety, because listen to me, I disagree with it, but it's kind of a hot take. I feel like 2019's Child's Play, well, however you feel about the movie itself, I feel like at its core, that's how a remake should be. You should be able to do your own thing, but also be a spiritual, have the spirit of the original in it too, to then combine together to make this remake. Something that's like, yeah, this is like we're telling the same story, but also taking our own spin on it and doing like own creative liberty things. That's what I feel like the standard for remake should be. This one, again, this is like a Disney remake problem at all. It's like we're telling the same story of the original, but then you run into that like, well, you're just telling the same story. Why are you even remaking it at all? What are you doing different? Besides the technology, what are you doing different? To me, it just seems like, wouldn't it be more beneficial? Like, this movie's like, what, 23 years old? Like, instead of remaking the movie, like, and just making the figure version of it, like re-release the movie, but like it's just now it's the CGI type of deal like that. So you could be like, okay, we got the original, and now you got the the CGI version of it, like that, and they go hand to hand. So because the kids today, they're like, they need the CGI, they need that. Hand drawn animation is just gone, is dead. So why not do that? Leads us to number 5, the final reason why I feel this movie is just like, it's inferior. The movie just plays it way too safe. Way too safe. What I mean by that is, like I said, I was watching the movie, I'm really watching it just like, okay, I'm watching it, the beats are happening. I highly suggest you probably do not watch the 2002 version before you go into this one, because it's just like, again, you're just watching the things from the original happen, but it's like, it feels like they have to happen, but otherwise this wouldn't be Lilo and Stitch. Stitch doing his iconic laugh and stuff like that to, the record player scene that was half-baked, and then, Stitch being like, it's my family, it's broken, but it's good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, those type of moments, like, they have to be in the movie because that's Lilo and Stitch. But again, it's just like, it doesn't do or try anything particularly new. I'll change that back. The ending is different because, again, Gantu's not in the ending. They have to have a completely different ending. And Stitch drowns, and Nani is like, now she's got this whole other backstory that she didn't have in the original. Nani ends up picking up Stitch, Private Ryan style, and, running on the beach on the ocean floor, gets Stitch out, and, Stitch is on the ground. He's all dead. Y'all think he's dead, and everyone's crying and stuff. And I'm just like, okay. The kids will probably be like, Stitch, come back to life, Stitch! Almost in the same effect of when Black Panther got vaporized at the Infinity War. You're just like, so you're telling me that Black Panther, whose movie made over $1 billion, he's just gone? Hell no, they're coming back. Which is pretty much just like, yeah, Stitch, come back to life in 3, 2, 1. And now he's back. Mingan la la cuista. Matter of fact, now I'm thinking about it. At the end of the movie, Stitch was in his Elvis suit, stuff like that. But it was like during the ending credits. He was in his Elvis suit in the original, but it was like kind of like the beach montage when Nani's like, you know, doing her job and stuff like that. Completely out of the movie. See what I'm talking about? At the end of the day, you might think I'm harping on this movie, but these are just like minor nitpicks I gotta say, because I love Lilo and Stitch. I love this movie. I love these characters. I love them. That means I have to like hold them extra tight when, you know, Disney does terrible shit with it. Just like, you know, you have with Star Wars. You know how much they mess with Star Wars up. Before I saw this movie, I was like, there's certain things I need to happen for this to be a 10 out of 10. And I want it to be a 10 out of 10 because I love Stitch. But as a fan, I have to be critical and be, you know, I gotta have the expectations. And there's just some things that happened that I made it fall short. Still enjoyable enough movie for you to go see this weekend. Take the kids, go see Lilo and Stitch. Still go see it. Lilo Stitch is officially in theaters now. You're going to see it, you're not going to see it. Let me know your thoughts on it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend. See you guys in the next video. As always, subscribe. Until next time.